So for all my videos, I follow a 4-point framework, which is known as the Hive framework. And that's hook, introduction, value, and end screen. And this is a lot of YouTubers follow this as a general base. But if someone's just starting YouTube and they don't know about it, then what each one stands for is A, the hook. So that's when the first 10 to 15 to 20 seconds of your video, that's when you've got to really grab the attention of your viewers. You've got to leave them curious and craving more. So you maybe tease the best parts of your video. So in my case, I tease the most visual magic tricks and the things that I know that they're going to want to know how they work. But, if you're doing a vlog, you might just tease the most exciting part of the vlog. Or if you're teaching someone something, you say, in this video, you're going to learn how to do X, Y, Z. And then that's the hook, because they want to know how to do that. Then I have an introduction. So the introduction is just when you have the hook, then you've got the introduction. And that's just when you introduce yourself to the camera. So I normally just say, hey, my name's Oscar Owen. I'm a professional YouTuber living in London. Please subscribe if you want to learn more amazing magic tricks. And the point of the introduction is just to build a connection between you and your audience. Especially later on, if we talk about monetization and stuff, you want to have that connection with the audience. They actually know who they're learning from. So long term, they'll subscribe to you and maybe buy things from you. So that's the introduction.
So when you say introduction, you were talking about introduction to yourself as the creator rather than just an introduction to the video, like introduction
yeah,
section.
normally a bit of both. So I just say, in this video, you're going to learn 5 amazing magic tricks. By the way, my name's Oscar Owen and da 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 da.
Okay.
Again, you want to keep it short because it's not the most interesting part. But once my YouTube partner actually gave me was they ran loads of tests on if you ask subscribers to subscribe to your channel, they're much more likely to do so. And I was always under the mentality that's like, if someone wants to subscribe to my channel, they'll just click subscribe. But they did all the background testing, and she said, look, if you actually say, please subscribe if you want to learn more, people go, oh yeah, I will. And then they hit the subscribe button. So that's just a little tip to up the number of subscribers.
So what's the relevancy there? Are you using that in the introduction?
Yes.
Okay.
So good. Yeah. Hook, where you tease the part. Introduction, where you introduce yourself, introduce the video, I guess, generally as well. And then just say, if you want to learn more about, or if you're a vlog channel, if you want more incredible vlogs doing X, Y, Z, then please hit the subscribe button. If you're a gym channel, if you want more amazing gym tips every single week, please hit subscribe. And that's the introduction. So it just builds a connection between the audience and yourself.
You've really got to get to the point. Even if the video, like I appear in my videos, I'm a character in my videos, but don't for a second waste any time introducing yourself. Just get to the meat of the video. I would say put your best visuals at the start of the video. Don't even worry about like saving something for later. Just get it in. If you've got like in this next video about Polynesia, the video that I'm editing as we speak, that I'll carry on editing after we finish this. The first part of the video is loaded with footage that is great, and it will reappear later. But I'm sort of showing people like, look what's going to be in this video, man. Like I got clips of fish nibbling on the turtle's shell. This is some crazy footage. Like I got some crazy drone shots of Easter Island. I've got animated maps. Stick around. This is going to be an interesting one. So I think front load the video with some interesting stuff. Just get straight into the point. And create a sense of like interest, curiosity, excitement. Don't worry about like saving anything for later. If you've got an amazing drone shot of whatever, if you've got a really important piece of footage of whatever, put it in the first 30 seconds, man. Put it in the first 20 seconds. Get people excited to watch the video.
How do you get people interested when they start watching your video and keep them interested? What goes through your head?
It's the hook. So there's 2 sections to that. There's the hook and then there's the intro. The hook is the thing right at the start of the video, which lasts, in my videos these days, I've got it down to hopefully quite a fine art where it's a few seconds. So it will be me sitting down in the chair over there or walking up to the camera and just saying something like, I've been trying this for the last 3 weeks and I've got lots of thoughts, that sort of stuff. So immediately they're like, okay, right, what are those thoughts? The second part of that is the intro, which is when I give them a little bit more information about what that thing is and what they can expect for the rest of the video. So again, you're constantly drip feeding them information with cliffhangers, etc.
So keeping the curiosity and the suspense.
I wasn't going to review this pair of headphones because it's just another pair of headphones, isn't it? Only it really, really isn't. Yeah, so that's the hook.
Yeah,
that's 100%
awesome.
the hook. In my sort of rough script, I have a section called hook. So that bit would have been in there. The reason I think that works, the reason I did it like that, is because first of all, you see the product. So you don't see me at all. You see the product sitting there. It's clearly a pair of headphones. So I'm kind of following up on the thumbnail, which features the same the same product on there. And then I come into frame, and within, I'm not sure how many seconds that was, but 8 or 10 seconds or something, I've basically said, you want to hear this. There's something about these headphones which is unusual.
So just for people who are just learning about hooks for the first time and they've just seen that example, would you say the most important thing for a hook is there's two ways of saying the same thing here: drive curiosity, leave people wanting more, wanting to see what comes next? Is that right?
Yeah, it's a classic kind of curiosity gap. You give them enough information, so you're not really taking them, extracting the Michael, and but you're giving them not enough for them to, say, okay, I've got everything I need. I'm going to disappear now. They want to hang around and find out what it is about those headphones that is so amazing, basically. So you have that hook, which we just watched. Then you have the intro, and the intro is probably another minute or so, minute and a half or something. Depends if it includes a sponsor read, which sometimes it does. I think that one did. Yeah, you get about a minute and a half of intro. And then we go into what I call the value, and that is the main chunk of the video, really.
I think 10 seconds in, I used to have a beautiful video of my logo would come on the screen for 7 seconds. And Paddy just went, they know it's Ali Taylor video. They know it's you. They've clicked on it. You don't need a 7-second nice musical little interlude. He said it's just 7 seconds when they switch off or scan forward and maybe miss the best bit of the video. So he was like, the first thing I want you to do is take that out and never, ever use it again.
Great. So here's the video, The 5-Hour Rule from Thomas Frank, 1.7 million views to date. Let's watch the intro, and then you can kind of talk through the theory of what went into this.
This video is sponsored by Brilliant. The robots are coming. You've read the headlines, of course. You've heard all the hyperbole. The robots are coming, and, well, you'd better batten down the hatches and stock up on the canned beans because they're coming for our jobs. And for some jobs, well, that's absolutely true. The transportation industry, just to give you one example, will largely be powered by self-driving tech in the near future, obviating the need for human drivers. And for something that might hit a bit closer to home for those of you with more desk-bound jobs, there are now algorithms that can even write news reports. In fact, in 2016, the Washington Post's Heliograph bot wrote over 850 sports articles. And that was 4 years ago. How long until robots can create convincing online videos? In fact, how do you even know that I'm human? It's not all bad news, though, and don't worry, I'm actually human. I'm not a robot. Like you, I enjoy ingesting organic material, both for enjoyment and refreshment, and hydration. Necessary. But more importantly, there is a simple rule that you can follow to ensure that your opportunities for employment and success in your career continue to be plentiful even as automation tech improves and competition for jobs heats up. It's called the 5-hour rule. And in this video, we're going to explain exactly what it is and how you can use it in your own life. But first, let's set the stage with a little story. Hey, Charles, can I trouble you for one of those flashback sounds real quick?
Sure thing.
So yeah, talk us through your approach when you're writing this, and why you've made certain decisions, and how this comes together.
Sure. I mean, the intro, it always goes through many revisions. Length is always a concern, right? We don't want this to be too long. So what we have here is a heavily condensed version, and of course we tried a lot of different concepts at first. We had, okay, the robots are coming, we've got the AI thing within, like, what are some specific examples we can give of that, right? So of course the transportation industry is one that people have been talking about for a while now, in terms of self-driving vehicles with services like Uber, things like that. And
Okay, so you've mentioned that here you started talking about the transportation industry here, haven't you? And that's because it's a hot topic. A lot of people are talking about it, so a lot of people will be interested in hearing about that, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something, again, as you said, it's relevant to basically everyone's life. So that's the hot topic.
Mm.
But then again, it's like, okay, well, our specific audience, tends to be more, sort of white collar professionals, that kind of thing. So like, what can we do to bring it back around to that? We're like, oh, okay, well, here's an example, right, with this Washington Post heliograph that's like more knowledge work oriented, right? Because someone might be watching it and think, oh, well, that's fine. I don't drive a cab, so I don't need to worry about that, right? So then, but then we turn right around and we're like, okay, well, you're not safe either.
So you're trying to, it's almost like you're scooping in as much interest as you can at the start. It's like people who are connected to the transportation industry, yeah, get in. You need to be paying attention. People interest who are writers or work in the knowledge industry, this applies to you too. Is that fair to say that you're kind of attaching it to as many people as possible here, or big groups of people?
Yeah, I guess that's fair to say. Sure. So yeah, then I mean, in this last bit here, we have kind of a transition. I mean, it is still the introduction, but there's definitely a change in tone, and we have that little glitchy robot bit, the comedy, definitely. And so this
Cool.
is sort of a transition point, right? We're okay. We have this intro, we put people, and now it's like, okay, what are we actually going to talk about in this video, and why should you care, right? So we have, there's a simple rule, right? That's like a good starting point. It's like, okay, well, what could that simple rule be? And then we get the payoff there. Ensure your opportunities for employment and success in your career are plentiful, even as automation tech continues to improve and competition for jobs gets more intense. We've got, again, another angle there too, right?
Got you. So, what stood out to me there when you explained that is it fair to say that the 5 hour rule, there's an element of mystery around that? Like, what is the 5 hour rule?
Yes, exactly. It's a simple rule. It's the 5 hour rule. But yeah, what is that? Definitely.
Okay, so this line here, it's called the 5 hour rule, and in this video, we'll be covering what it is and how to use it. So that's where you're establishing the payoff, right? Is that like you
Yes.
mentioned earlier?
Yes,
The video is going to explain what the 5 hour rule is
Yeah,
because
if
you
you
don't
watch
yet know
this,
what it
you
is.
stick around, this is what you'll get. Exactly.
Okay. And what was the importance of this section, did you say, that when you were talking about opportunities for employment and success in your career? Um,
Well, I was just saying it's a point of transition, and then it also kind of takes the idea, right, that like if you look at that next part of the sentence, the even as automation tech improves and competition for jobs get more intense, right? So it's like you also capture the idea of if someone's, let's say, they're really skeptical about AI, right? They're like, oh well, I'm not going to worry about that, right? It's like, well, even if you're not concerned about that, the competition for jobs is getting more intense. I think in the video he actually says it a little more explicitly, which is that it's like we're in a globalized work environment, right? People can work remotely. You're not just competing against people in your city or your country. It's like the whole world potentially for jobs. So how do you stay ahead? And the 5 hour rule is the answer to that.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, so my understanding of this so far, and I really like how this has been structured, is we've got the hook at the start, the robots are coming, and then this is kind of like, I don't know what language you use, but to me it seems kind of like an extended hook. Like, this is going to, if you're in this industry, it's going to impact you, and if you're in this industry, it's also going to impact you. It's kind of it's capturing more and more people's attention as it goes on. And then you have said, well, don't worry, there is a positive to this, an upside, or a way that you can navigate through this. Then you've kind of said what the solution is, but because it's just the name of a solution, not the actual solution, there's enough curiosity and ambiguity to keep people watching.
Exactly.
Would you say is that structure of like hook and then establish the payoff that's going to come in the video and maybe a little bit of curiosity there? Is that kind of a structure that you often follow, or is that unique to this video?
I would say, yeah, it's pretty often with Thomas's videos. That's something we've tried to follow. It certainly depends on the topic. If the topic is perhaps more technical, right? If it's like an app kind of roundup, it might be a little different, right? But yeah, for videos, I would say where we're introducing this kind of cool learning concept or rule or technique. But yeah, that's a pretty similar structure across those.